let me clarify. Intolo is not expensive. People always say Intolo is very expensive. Guys, there is no expensive in Intolo. Intolo is providing the best of the best in terms of your stylish, in terms of your sitting, in terms of the comfort, in terms of being at home, away from home. So therefore, lento yoguti batabantu because it's a sweet water. So because it's a sweet water, we must be cheap in price. No ways.
Hamba ne-social arm la ubraswe indoda ebovu. Sway, you grand?
I'm grand, yo.
Yo, bruh. We've been working, guys. As you can see, we haven't changed. We've been doing interviews after interviews. So this one, it's a very, very
interesting one.
It's a very interesting one. I'd like to call him Mister. I'd like to call him my drip god. I call him a drip god. I wanna back there at home. If you wanna know how to dress up like a gentleman, you must take a look at this guy. Go check his Instagram and climb. You learn a few things. Otherwise, guys, we're here with Ubaba Max, the CEO of Intolo Lifestyle. This is where we're shooting at. It's a very significant place, and
it's very comfortable and beautiful.
Yeah, it's very elegant. It's a smart place. More smart, classy, and you wanna party in a classy. This is the place to come. Intolo, Mr. Unjak. Siyakwamukela kusho yethu njenga nathi samukele kweyakho indawo eofficeini lakho. Grootman, mina ngizokubiza Grootman. Like ukuba kwethu lana into esizele la kakhulukazi is to know about le ndawo lena, because it's been here le ndawo for quite some time. How many years if uzongikhumbuza?
The years of existence or the year of acquiring it. But we started looking for this space at 2012. We built for 4 years. That's 2012 to 2016. And then we launched it on the 26th of November 2016.
Oh, okay. Yeah, guys. I can say. I mean, I also say I've worked here when it was opening, Linda. Yeah. And the people that come here are very different people for you meet kwezinye indawo. And ngifisa ukwazi like Grootman before nje siye kakhulu because abantu abaningi they usually get confused when they say Intolo Max. Some usually think it's Umax lo waseThekwini. Can we just clear that before nje sidlule, yabo? Because they always confuse you now, yabo.
Look, it always confusing. Nami, I always get that. But one should maybe clarify with mhlambe ukufana kwamagama.
Yeah.
Max was Mlazi.
Yeah.
That is why his place is called Max Lifestyle.
Oh.
So this one, it's Intolo Lifestyle, owned by Max or Dladla.
Oh.
So if you go Max or Mlazi, it would have been E-Max Lifestyle.
Most probably.
Yes.
Nje kancane nje Grootman njengoba usuchazile ukuthi when you clarified ukuthi wena Max Intolo. Mhlambe you can give us a slight background ukuthi size sikubone la usukhona njengamanje usuka kephi, like where does it all begin?
Oh, it's a long journey. It can take the whole day, the whole interview.
Yeah.
By profession, I am an educator.
Okay.
Umfundisi. And then back then ngabona ithuba lokuthi ngathi ngine-energy eningi I'm coming from a background of a non-business oriented family. But ngothando loku lentshisekelo. Nefundo bengizifundisa, which is accounting and BA. Today I'm a business studies. That is where my drive came from. And ngisasewuthisha, I find ukuthi I can do more whilst I'm still in a teaching fraternity. But as ngibona ukuthi umsebenzi, because where I started to be a sound provider. Let me put it that way. Ngaqashisa ngesound. I remember ngangidlalela umasipala besangikhokhela 3,500, 3,800. But what was more fascinating was that as an educator, I used to earn just a little bit. But when I combine with what I'm doing, it's worth it.
So combine it with the gigs.
It's a combine with my gigs. It's worth it. Maybe where I took a firm decision, I would look, because I was not just an educator. I was a 8th grade student producer. And Mankala, I was still very young. I started in Newcastle. There was my school, which was Malahleni High School. Look, I started when I was very young. I've never gone back Mankala, because I know my drive was not only to achieve little, I wanted to achieve more. Even on a teaching fraternity, I wanted to achieve more. I remember at some stage I used to innovate, a lot of things. Isikolo sethu isikolo semayini. When I started, the principal there was Peterson, the white guy. He was very fascinated to see a young, energetic man. By then I was still from school. So I innovated a lot of things at school. When I grew up, I got bored, to do one and the same thing.
Yeah, it's very boring.
And young as I am, I had driven goals, which I want literally something at the end of the day. But you still young, bakufundisa ukuthi okay, dlala istokfela, amabhodwe, igrocery, amatupperware, all those games. But look, it was very good because I ended up having those things, as a young man, having izinto zabo mama, amatupperware, abo AMC pod, all those chairs ezenziwa abo mem, ema staff room. But look, it was a very great experience for me. I drove myself into another corner of being just an ordinary educator. I would walk up during the week time. I remember I bought one trailer, a kitchen trailer, where whilst I was still as an educator, we're teaching at Daisa, Maguama games, December games. And students will find me there, hey, Manier, now there's some chips. They will laugh at me in that way, But little that they know, Uguti, sometimes when you want something, you equip yourself for that. I think also, in the time, El Naseko, he may rest in peace, I drove something from him. But all the time, he drove into making it a success. So, okay, if you want to do something, you must make sure you set yourself, you manure the soil. So that spinach sakamakhelwane singamanyorwanga nesakho becomes mehlo. And then I looked at it it takes much of my time from the class. Their calls comes in, hey, I'll go out imagine daughter, weekend is 20 sound, wara. And then I looked at it, whilst I was still producing, I have certificates which accolades my good work, you know. I will produce 92, 100%, 98%. Matric student. When I started teaching, I've never gone to small grades. They throw me into a deep end. And then I learned one other thing before I left my student, you know, because I left teaching 2007. Because I was saying, look, I'm not even shy to say, Nangola 5,700. But to tell you, in 4 hours, I get 10,000 with my
your
gigs,
side
you know.
hustles.
I said, look, man, no, it doesn't make sense. For me, 30 days, I'm making 5,700. 4 hours, I'm making 10,000. And I went to see my parents and said to my dad, look, I'm leaving. Where are you going? I said, no, I don't know. The fact that I don't know where I'm going, that is my motivation. So I jumped into a space of business. Look, with God, emotion, you know, sometimes when you start things, business, that's why business, they are saying it's risk.
The transition being, was it difficult or when you like decided you would say, okay, I'm done with teaching, yeah, move over to business? Was it a difficult choice? Because you already had the background in business. That's okay, I'm doing this. Decision
Look, it decision came while I was still a teacher. You know, and I decided not to affect my student because part of me was outside the environment of teaching. So I felt, no, for me to do it more profitably and all out, I'd rather not make my student to suffer. Let me just, you know, resign and focus on the business side.
Because now you're like, hey, I'm getting the paycheck at the end of the month. Hey, you're feeling it.
So Mama would say you were going somewhere but you didn't know where were you going. Do you mean it like in a literal way? You would say njengokusuka kwakho in Newcastle ending up here in Maritzburg? You mean it in that sense? Noma the sense yokuthi lento njengokushiya ukufundisa whatever you were getting into wawungazini but khona wawukufunda?
I don't know. Mind is, it's something else. And God has gave us different types of minds where you will think and be afraid. Sometimes you think and say, yes, I want it. Sometimes you will think and say, what are the repercussions for my decision? You know, so I think in diversify of my thinking, it was a question that was driven firstly by my enthusiasm, secondly by monetary value. You know, because I felt, no man, I've got the energy. So the energy that could drive me to a better heights. You know, so therefore to me, you know, being an educator was just a way through to my business world. Because that is where I have equipped to understand the business better, that I have been equipped to save, to make sure how do you run your business. But coming to your question, when I didn't know where I'm getting into, it was because I'm from the comfort zone of being an educator to the world of saying you yavuka baba and you go to work for yourself. It's not a paycheck. Mawavuganga wenozolanga.
So straight out of resigning, what was the first business or why challenge? What's okay? Putting my mind, all my money into this and my mind into this, or no ma wakubega with the side hustles or valuenza during the working time.
The sound business grew to such an extent when 2010 World Cup comes in. I'm one of the person who benefited on that because as soon as within our local municipality, they were like, okay, who's got a sound? And within the District 24 in Newcastle, I think I was the one, you know, that has got a bigger sound. And then I was asked by departments to say, okay, is it possible for you to hold fan parks? And then I got one fan park that I was doing in Newcastle. That's where I grew. I grew my sound into a bigger sound for stadiums, for small parties, for all types of venues that you will inquire. And then during that, there's one restaurant that I always go there with a late friend of mine, Dr. Mfundo. We'll go there and have lunch all the time. And then this guy, the owner, one day I was jokingly, I said, hey Baba, it's Craig. Craig, when you're tired of this business, please give it to me. He said, are you serious? I said, yes, I'm serious. I was saying it jokingly, but I love good things. I'm fascinated with perfect quality things. So it was a very nice, it was whitish. The name of the restaurant was called Black Pepper. And then one day, boom, I got a call from Craig. Hey, Max, remember you said? I said, yes. I said, I'm tired. Can you take the business now? I said, what? I said, yes. But look, I must emphasize this. Sometimes opportunity came when you're not ready. And when they come, what differ from you grabbing that opportunity is an hesitation. So when it comes to me and offer me the top restaurant in Newcastle, which was for whites, and he offered me with an amount, look, fortunately, I will say monetary value, I was a little bit balanced. For the money that he was looking at, I said, I will go for it. Remember, these are the steps. I'm from being an educator to a sound entertainment and event coordinator to the world of restaurant, which is a hospitality industry. So you see, sometimes one will say, jumping from all these different departments, how are you going to reschedule it? How are you going to make yourself a success on them all? But look, they always, if you want to be a jack of all trades, it takes you. I did that.
You're not scared. It's I'm like starting a new business. I'm not familiar with hospitality type business.
I love food, I love food. And I love good food. But I always tell myself, any new space and angle of a business that I feel I'm comfortable on it, I have a passion on it. That's why I'm not doing any construction, because it's not my field. It's not a field that I've ever liked. It's not a field that even when it comes along, I will say, because I want to be involved on something that I've got a passion on and something that I like. So this is how the chain of the businesses that I've went through. And boom, here I am. I'm in a restaurant part side. Then I converted that business, as it was a restaurant, to Intolo. Here comes the Intolo name then. Normally abantu bathi Intolo is Tanzania. No, ngwakamgabateni. Udladla umpembo mhlophe.
I think we need that clarity.
So before World Cup, I went to do shopping in Sentin. So there was an exhibition of this Nguni cows. So Intolo, it's a Nguni cow. But Intolo, it's named after a lizard. It's tribulations. The Intolo. Intolo, it's tribulations.
It's called Intolo, the actual name.
Yes. So okay. All right. So then I saw this beautiful bull. As you can see, my logo, it's a bull head. I saw this picture. I had it when they banned this place. My picture got banned. But if you go through my Instagram, you will see the picture of that I bought. So I put it in my lounge in Newcastle. When I bought this business as Black Pepper, I was a little bit confused. How am I going to turn the white name into the cultural name since I've acquired this space. And then I was sitting in my lounge and I look at this picture and I saw this bull staring at me. I said, man, let me call it Intolo Lounge. So that's how the name came out. So Intolo Lounge in Newcastle started operating, and I had another opportunity that came my way. The franchise Capello comes. Look, we want to have this pride as Africans. Within the space of a mall, we were the first one as blacks to operate in that mall in Newcastle as Capello. Well, for us it was new. I had Intolo, I had Capello, so I had two babies now.
So you did manage to change that name from Black Pepper to Intolo?
Yes, I did.
And you didn't lose out like your customers and stuff?
Look, it was well sounding because everybody was like, okay, what exactly does that mean? You know, and then you will have to explain. And as the word gets to be known better and better, I joined the franchise world, which was Capello. Capello in Newcastle was doing very well. So I have two babies. I've got a mother, you know, let me call it, I've got a mother and a father. And who is the mother and the father here? Intolo was the mother, because the father would have died without not having this one. So the mother was able to birth Capello, and then after birthing Capello, the mother was able to birth this Intolo Maritzburg. So when I arrived here, the mother birthed another Capello Maritzburg. So I had a Capello as well here in Maritzburg. But with the love and understanding and the insight of franchisee, franchisor, I understand that, look, it's time for me to take this to the greater heights. And then I went out of Capello and I focus on my baby Intolo.
Hence we are here.
Hence we are here. And when this one started, as I was staying here in Hilton. So I used to pass here going to Intolo, Capello in town. I saw the space, I acquired about the space, I got the space, and then I started building. Look, the passion of building, it took me 4 years to build this
everyone was anticipating ukuthi kanti ngempela kwakhiwani
PMB. Others will say, no, he's bringing Capello up here. You know, so there was a lot of vibe of interest of people. But honestly, what has made me to feel much better was the fact of the anticipation that people got. You know, and when from brick one to the last brick of this building, I was here. You know, and look, one thing God again, you know, sometimes when you do something, you always have hiccups, you know, in doing it. No, this is holding you, this is going there, this is da 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 da. But at the end of the day, once the structure was built as is, and then we wanted to put the element of a wow, because we didn't consider ourselves as we are building in a rural area, you know. And sometimes the mentality that obviously people carries is that when you build something greater and better, it should be somewhere in a suburbs, in a city and whatnot. But I decided to say, look, let it come to where people are. Let's give people exactly the classy, the niche that they are looking for.
Because there's always going to be a niche, even if it's a raw place. There's always going to be that niche that's like classy things.
Correct.
So, Grootman, with this establishment on building it, from Gibugela, from far, I'm sure there are so many obstacles, but omunye umuntu, to a point ukuthi omunye umuntu would have probably given up by now about such an establishment. What keeps you going on it njengoba namanje usayibambile? even though abanye bekhala ngayo this and that, Intolo this and that, but you still stuck to your class. Awuzange washintsha when people said no, Intolo kumele ngene ingudu, Intolo kumele kube kanjena, yabo, but you still stuck to your niche idea. Yini ekwenza ngathi unamathele to your principles ungashintshwa abantu?
Look, you look at what motivates you at first to start a business. Then you segment those ideas that you have for you to start a business. It's either you start a business because, let me make an example exactly about Intolo. You always have a projected focus ekuthenini ngifuna into enje, ngifuna operate kanje, but at the end of the day you don't know whether it will come like that. Same as when the chicken lay their eggs, they don't know whether they are gonna hatch or not. So this is how you start a business. But sure, when you talk of obstacles, look, if I don't know whether I should drink a Red Bull from my own wings, or should I say this to say, if God has put something in your hand and anybody and everybody tries to take it away, it's not easy. You know, I'm faced with a lot of challenges. This place has been banned twice.
I remember.
And it was banned 2016.
Is it the external people or Klambekoba incident in the business?
No, it was a man-made, you know, and they even August Women's Day on the 8th. It was also banned.
This year, right?
This year. But look, if you know where you're going, you're not gonna give up. Remember also what gives us, you know, an individual to go forward. It's because you when you start a business, sometimes you must always have all terms built for you. You should have a long term, short term, and a middle term in terms of how do you want your business to run. If for a period of that moment you've got such an incident, what do? Do you close and say, okay, I'm giving up? No. You know, you look for and you seek for options. Say, okay, fine, this has happened, then how do I go forward? But also, I believe that a lot of challenges and, you know, speculations, here what, but I believe that, you know, through God as well as my ancestors, it's a question that one thing that I am priding of is that whatever that I wanted to give people, because this is not for me, this place is not for me as an individual, but you build for the community and people surrounding.
Because you could have gone anywhere else.
I could have built anywhere else. I could have, you know, just give up and say, look, I am giving up.
I'm tired of these people. It was the second time they've been.
It's the second time I'm tired of people.
Most people they would have gave up.
You see that.
So I hear you mention speculations and suspicions and all those things. Like I'm from here, Minnesota, and I can say practically I know most of the things that go around, the ndabas, the rumors and all that. And I think as a platform ekanjena, mhlambe nawe kungayithuba to clarify mhlambe izinye izinto abantu who are in the dark ngazo, yabo, ezike zenzeka within this area and ezinye zazo within your personal life. Abantu that blabber about it but don't have any clarification.
Look, I know exactly where you're going to. Impilo yendoda, impilo yokuhustlisha. Abanye abafowethu who were hustling They are 6 feet underground. Abanye Babafet, who has been hustling, they talk of their hustler sitting in whatever disability that they've got. Abanye Babafet, who are hustling, they like me sitting and talking to say, you know, sometimes whatever that you try as a man, if it fails, look for alternative. You don't give up. So I am answering directly what the speculations are. I know people will go around and say, hey, this outie go to jail. Who else doesn't go to jail for the offense that you've committed?
Even the former president.
For the offense that I've committed, I had to be punished, and I had to go there and come back. And I went for what I did, which to me hasn't killed me, but it has taught me that, you know, crime doesn't pay. You know, and whatever crime that I committed, one thing that I am priding myself with, I've never taken someone who is crying out there for me to say, hey, this guy took whatever that was for me to live or to do what. But as a man, you've been hustling the way you were hustling. But also, I want to take a very strong stand to say sometimes our justice system, it's okay for others, it's not okay for the other.
Especially
so
black men.
It depends, you know. So also this Intolo Lifestyle, it is the place. It's not what people have got the myth about this place to say no. It's I'm not taking for granted, you know, space like taverns and whatnot. This is an environment where all events are happening. Conferencing, small parties, weddings they can be holding, events. Actually, this is an event space. And one will be able to say, this is the biggest space in Maritzburg. You know, because we pride with in and outdoor space that is enough.
Plus the space la.
Surely on this program, you'll be able to showcase people to say, look, it's not only the thatch roofing that you see. Go inside and see what is the setup.
Yeah, definitely, most definitely. We're going to show that about
correct.
This place. So I was still on my question, and I don't know, did you clear it?
Well, I'm not too sure what exactly to clear up, but I think because I think what fascinates people is the jail term issue. I'm back. Issue. I'm a free man. Like I've said it, I did what I did. I got my punishment and I got back.
And you guys, please, you probably would be far good. But anyway,
maybe on whilst you are still there, let me just emphasize one of what I believe in my life was a downfall. I am a biggest role model, and I'm still one, because my gradually growth into a business world, like I've been explaining, I'm from the teaching fraternity, and people that have been growing in front of, they can still concur with me to say I grew up in front of them. Mina bengu teacher or driver EMG is 63. Bengu teacher, I'm not boasting about that, because when God shows up, showcase. Being an educator, I was driving, I love cars. I was, you know, without, I'm going to clarify, Lento, people who think that, you know, maybe my business growth is because of stealing. No. I grew up to such an extent, my profile, because I was going step by step. You can go and Google me, you know, and find out, am I what those who are calling me, whatever that they are calling me, am I that? But you'll find this was my very offense, very first offense,
And
that was a very last offense, because at some point, what is good, what I've learned, is that sometimes you don't have to think with your stomach. You must think with your mind. There was only that's where my mistake was. I thought of stomach, and with the pressure of other businesses that I had, then you want to find an easy way out. For me, finding that easy way out put me into a deep end, which I've learned my lesson.
That's beautiful. So, Krugman, just want us to move along. You're a DJ. Okay.
I'm still a DJ.
Yeah. Like with that, is it a hobby or is it something you like take serious to a point of which now you probably got management of Funelama gigs elsewhere, or is it just an ability or or exercise only when you want to?
Or when it's something that you do on your spare time?
DJing was, I wanted to make it a profession, career. But the twist came when every weekend ngizodansisa ama-student ami. Mangibuyela Monday eklasini, they will say, it took a little bit twist for me to say, no man, let me just break down a little bit. I used to have events 6 to 6 as one DJ. One DJ, I would play from 6 to 6 in the morning. One man, I'm still going to make that show here in Intolo when I'm settled. But I would have been, there's a guy who's a very prominent guy now. I taught him how to play DJ Mtofi. And we used to play a Shamahashi lap, but man, he's the best because he put that into the practicality. But ask me now, I don't even, DJ Bamanje, they make sets, practice, go. If you take me and say, let's play, you will hear me today, I'll be playing. I don't prepare my sets because I love music. I just go up and do the DJing. I love DJing, but I don't do DJing to get paid. I'm just doing it my side in Intolo here as a DJ. I don't mind. I love it. Yes.
Yo, the life, the way it's shaping, it's like you love having fun. From the business you chose to get into, because I think it's fun running such a thing. I think the only boring part is
Look, you won't say it like that, because I've learned to master the business that I'm in. I'm going to get a also. Upome. So I cannot like you when usoba and dislike you when usumnandi. And I've learned Uguti. I remember just a funny story that I can share with you. One guy here, he came, he spent his money. Later, he was finished. He didn't even know where's the toilet. He had to pee right in front of people inside. When people started shouting him, wanting to clap him, I say, wait. I know him when he's sober, and now I must understand him as he's drunk. Let's take him straight to the toilet. And that's it. So you learn how to manage your people. But also, let me clarify, Intolo is not expensive. People always say, Intolo is very expensive. Guys, there is no expensive in Intolo. Intolo is providing the best of the best in terms of your stylish, in terms of your sitting, in terms of the comfort, in terms of being at home, away from home. So therefore, lento yoguti batabantu, because it's a sweet water. So because it's a sweet water, we must be cheap in price. No ways. No ways.
You have to pay for this level of comfort, because 1 minute on these other places, you're gonna step on a person, the next thing they're stabbing you, or they're shooting.
Besides, you can't compare a place, a Klalo Makesi, and expect a price as a Makesi.
To be the same.
eBay. the same near we couch.
Okay, that is an underway of saying, but you see the very same people that they will complain about being expensive, they drove to town, they spend their money into petrol, they spend their money into the very same commodity that they will leave here saying it's expensive, but adding the petrol money, adding the Uber money, adding the their transport money, whatever that they are adding, so it becomes it becomes an addition. Yet if one commodity was 25 rand, then you decide to say no, because Intolo is in Sweetwater. Look, it's Sweetwater in Menan. That is why we wanted to build this place, so that we bring, we've played a major role as Intolo Lifestyle for tourism attraction, Yase Mpumuza and Sweetwater and surroundings. Because I brought artists, I brought celebrities that people will never see them in their naked eye, but through the social media or TV. But Intolo has managed to bring that next to them. So we are saying as Intolo management, look, come join us, come feel the environment within, then you will judge us from there. You will judge whether it's expensive or whether you want us to raise the price, but we will keep on the price that we have.
Manje, the tourism industry, does it support you, since you're going to bring artists, but a base like Maritzburg? Will they support you, or go to you brought an artist, A-list celebrity?
I wish one day they can support us.
Yeah, because that contributes in tourism.
I wish one day they could support us, because we really a role player in terms of the tourism. Not only in Sweetwater and Pomoza, but in Maritzburg as such. In KZN, we are also a small role players of tourism.
Because a lot of people will come. If Zobakunus Java, someone from Mbali who's inspired,
come through.
And such events, they create memories of it, really memorable.
Correct.
One thing I liked about the way you set your events in Intolo, you're not the typical event makers. To a point, one time you had an event of stand-up comedy, which was something different, something new. And and I'm sure the next time that's one thing I really love about Linda and the way you manage it, because you always stick out from the rest.
And it's also, now I'm getting a picture, it relates to what you were saying, Klambi, or you always brought creative ideas, because look what you mentioned now, a stand-up comedian. I don't think
we'll never see that.
I've never seen that before.
Look, maybe umuntu fana nje athi very thankful to all the patrons, clients, people of Sweetwater and surroundings, for still believing in Intolo, coming to support us. We are a group of business that could take their ideas, take their interests and move with them. And we also love to say, being joined by you guys, we'll take the word forward. We will spread the word that we are not just an entity that is a fly-by-night. We are a business that is well established. We are a business that we wish one day we can extend Intolo to franchise. That is actually my ambition. At the end of the day, to have so many Intolos, around. Why there's so many Kentucky? Why there's so many franchise that we see? So when then are we going to give support to each other and take our own business to become franchise? So that is my ambition at the end of the day, to take this business forward.
As a busy man, Gyazi ukuthi isikhathi sakho is always limited. So ngokwami, what I thought, this is just the first part, just the scratch on the surface for this interview. Mhlambe before sifike nasemaphethelweni now, can you tell us, from here into what are you looking to do with it, Intolo njengamanje, and your future plans with it?
Look, Intolo is still a baby. This is a phase 1 of Intolo. There's phase 2 of building. There's phase 3, of building. And we wish to say to everyone who is believing in Intolo, let's do continue and support us. Look, I'm not even shy to say if we look at our role model. If you look at Mac's lifestyle, he never started where he is right now. It's through support and it's through engagement of other departments that needs to play a role within such establishment. So look, we've got a long way to go, and our setup, as I'm saying, my ambition is to have another second Intolo Lounge, Intolo Lifestyle. When you go around, you find Intolo Lifestyle
everywhere you go.
But firstly, we need to grow this baby into where it should be, and then we take it from there.
Well, my last question, is there a level of motivation mhlambe ongayinika and inspiring mhlambe a business owner ukuthi okay, since also when now more problems or that you went through and then you were able to overcome them, is there any level of motivation mhlambe ongamotivator ngayo umuntu osaqala now to make it mhlambe at your own level?
Look, being a businessman or woman is not easy. It's never been easy. It's either you divorce your family. When I'm saying divorcing, not literally in a divorce way, but you don't have time for your family. Such business acquire your best time. The guy who mentored me for business, he told me that this type of a business, if you can cash it, if you can't count it, you can't cash it. So it's a liquid cash that is always here, and iganingi, you must always be here to make sure that every cent it goes where it's supposed to. Particularly, you want to say anybody who wants to get into business. Look, sometimes we all have been saying, "Hey, ugu isebenza, it's what is best." No, trust me, it's one of the headache. That's why some of our colleagues got a chronic disease. You end up having stress, depression, because if things are not going your way and the way you have planned, then what is next? Depression, stress, and all that. But also having a business is nice. It's one of the things where you'll be saying, if I don't want to go to work, I don't. If I want to, I do.
And it's something you can point out and say, this is my baby.
Look, it's something that sikhule obaba abanye benama supermarket. Benama garage. But today, you look back and say, what has faltered? What went wrong? It is because ingane zabo, they were distant from the business. So once God requires you close to Him, and then the business is gone. Because nobody. I so wish that one of my motivation is that I do have kids, that I want to make sure that I give them, because this is a legacy.
It's a legacy.
You start a business because you don't want your business to fall next to your nose. You project to say, okay, in the near future, let's take a practical.
With Scotty, bro, time, dog. I'm struggling with time myself, bro. I feel like 24 hours is just not enough in a day. It's just not enough, bro. And I thought it was too much. Sometimes I used to think, hey, but bro, it's becoming small. I don't know, maybe he ain't a dog or whatnot. Because Umuntu's not in a good space. But in order to be in a good space, you gotta keep it moving. Because if you have a good space, you gotta